Are you sitting down right now? Take a moment and notice how you're sitting. Are you slouched forward, leaning to one side? Is your lower back rounded, like a question mark? Most of us don't give it a second thought. But as a men's health coach with over 20 years of experience, I'm here to tell you that your chair might be the most dangerous object in your house. We talk about diet, we talk about exercise, we talk about supplements, but nobody is talking about the silent saboteur that is actively working against your vitality for hours every single day. Your posture. What if I told you that the gradual numbness you feel, the weakening performance, and that frustrating loss of confidence isn't just about age? What if it's about pressure? A constant, unrelenting pressure on the most critical nerves and arteries your manhood depends on. You see, for men over 60, 70, and even 80, the body is resilient. It wants to function. It wants to deliver powerful blood flow, but it can't fight a battle on two fronts. It can't overcome a physical kink in the system that you unknowingly create every time you sit down to read the paper, watch television, or work at your desk. Today, I'm going to pull back the curtain on this hidden epidemic. I will reveal the 3 most common sitting mistakes that are quietly choking off the lifeblood to your penis, and I will give you 3 simple, powerful adjustments you can make starting this morning to reverse the damage, reopen those pathways, and reclaim the firm, reliable vitality you thought was gone for good. Stay with me, because the information in this video could be the key that unlocks a new chapter of your physical confidence. Let's get right to the heart of the matter. The first and most devastating mistake is what I call the pelvic clamp. This is the classic slouch. You sit down, your shoulders round forward, your head juts out, and your pelvis rolls backward, tucking your tailbone underneath you. It might feel comfortable, but what you're actually doing is creating a catastrophic compression event right at the base of your pelvis. Imagine a garden hose. If you put a sharp kink in it, what happens to the water flow? It slows to a trickle. This is exactly what's happening inside your body. When you slouch, the entire weight of your upper body collapses onto your perineum, the area between your scrotum and anus. Running directly through this area are 2 absolutely critical structures: the pudendal artery and the pudendal nerve. The pudendal artery is the primary freeway for blood flow to the penis. It's the vessel responsible for delivering the rush of blood needed for a firm, lasting erection. The pudendal nerve is the communication highway. It sends the signals of arousal from your brain to your penis and sends sensations of pleasure back to your brain. When you slouch, you are physically pinching both of them. You are kinking the hose. Over time, this chronic compression does 2 terrible things. First, it physically restricts blood flow. The artery simply can't deliver the volume of blood required, leading to weak, unreliable erections. Second, it damages the nerve. The constant pressure creates inflammation and can lead to nerve entrapment, causing numbness, a loss of sensitivity, and a muted response to arousal. Your brain might be sending the signal, but the message is getting lost in static. This isn't a hormonal problem. It's a mechanical problem. Let me tell you about Robert, a 68-year-old retired accountant. He came to me in despair. "I've done everything," he said. "I'm on a clean diet. I walk 3 miles a day. My testosterone levels are fine, but nothing works. It feels numb down there, disconnected." I asked him to describe his typical day. He'd wake up, have breakfast, and then spend 4 to 5 hours at his desk managing his investments, reading, and answering emails. I asked him to show me how he sat. Instantly, he fell into the classic pelvic clamp slouch. He had been doing this for decades. He was skeptical when I explained the concept. "My chair? You think my chair is the problem?" he asked, unconvinced. I told him, "Robert, you're spending nearly a third of your day putting a physical roadblock on the most important artery for your erections. Let's remove the roadblock first, then see what happens." We made one simple change to his setup. which I'll share in a moment. This problem is particularly damaging in the morning. After a night of relative stillness, your tissues and blood vessels are less pliable. Sitting down and immediately slumping into the pelvic clamp is like bending a cold, brittle pipe. It sets a pattern of restriction for the entire day. Your body's natural morning surge of hormones, which should be promoting vitality, is immediately met with a physical barrier. Fixing your posture first thing in the morning is critical to opening those channels and allowing your body to function as it's designed to. So, we've identified the problem, the pelvic clamp. Now, how do we begin to reverse decades of damage? We don't start with a complicated gym routine. We start with a simple 5-minute reset that you can do every single morning before you even finish your first cup of coffee. I call it the Morning Pelvic Reset, and its goal is to decompress those vital nerves and arteries. The core of this reset is a simple exercise, the seated pelvic tilt. The seated pelvic tilt directly counteracts the backward tuck of the slouch. By consciously tilting your pelvis forward and backward, you are essentially flossing the nerves and arteries in your pelvic basin. This movement gently mobilizes the tissues, breaks up adhesions, and encourages fresh, oxygenated blood to flood the area that has been compressed all night and for years on end. When you tilt your pelvis forward, creating a slight arch in your lower back, you take the pressure off the perineum and shift it onto your sit bones, your ischial tuberosities. This is the body's natural, intended weight-bearing structure. This simple motion creates space. It unkinks the garden hose. Performing this movement repeatedly acts like a pump, stimulating circulation and reawakening the nerve pathways that have been dormant. It tells your body, this area is important. Send resources here. Let's go back to Robert, the accountant. His first assignment was simple. I told him, every morning, before you turn on your computer, I want you to sit on the edge of your chair, feet flat on the floor. For 3 minutes, I want you to slowly and gently rock your pelvis forward, creating an arch in your back, and then backward, rounding it out. That's it. He called me 2 weeks later. It's the strangest thing, he said. For the first few days, I didn't feel much. But this week, I've started to feel a tingling, a warmth. It's not a huge change, but it feels like something is waking up. He was initially doubtful that something so simple could work, but what he was feeling was the return of circulation and nerve activity. After a month of consistently doing this, combined with the next tip I'm about to share, he reported a significant improvement in both sensation and erectile rigidity. He hadn't changed his diet or his walks. He had simply started his day by decompressing his pelvis. Doing this in the morning is non-negotiable. It acts as a physiological opening ceremony for your day. It reverses the stiffness from sleep and counteracts the immediate temptation to slouch. When your body experiences this rush of circulation and nerve activation first thing, it sets a new baseline for the rest of the day. The enhanced blood flow doesn't just last for the 5 minutes you're doing the exercise. It improves vascular responsiveness for hours afterward, making your entire system more prepared for when you need it to perform. The morning reset opens the channels, but if you go right back to slouching for 8 hours, you're just re-kinking the hose. The next step is to change the environment itself. You need to transform your chair from a torture device into a throne of support. The easiest way to do this is by following the 90-90-90 rule. This is the cornerstone of ergonomics, and it's designed to align your body in a way that minimizes stress and compression. Ankles at 90 degrees. Your feet should be flat on the floor, directly under your knees, not tucked behind, not stretched out in front. This creates a stable base. Knees at 90 degrees. Your thighs should be roughly parallel to the floor. If your chair is too high, your feet will dangle, putting pressure on the back of your thighs. If it's too low, your knees will be above your hips, causing your pelvis to tuck under right back into the pelvic clamp. Hips at 90 degrees. Your torso should be upright, forming a 90-degree angle with your thighs. This is the crucial part. This alignment naturally rolls your pelvis slightly forward, placing your weight on your sit bones and completely off your perineum. When you maintain this 90-90-90 posture, the pudendal artery and nerve are free from compression. Blood can flow without restriction, and nerve signals can travel without interference. It might feel unnatural at first if you've been a lifelong sloucher, but this is your body's optimal position for seated health. You may need to adjust your chair height, use a footrest, or add a lumbar support cushion to maintain the curve in your lower back, but this is the goal. Let me introduce you to David, a 72-year-old retired history professor who loved to write. He spent 6-8 hours a day in an old, soft armchair, hunched over his laptop. He suffered from weak flow, urinary urgency, and what he called unresponsive erections. He was convinced it was prostate-related and had been to multiple doctors. When I saw his setup, I knew we had to change it. He was skeptical about buying a new chair. "I've had this chair for 30 years, he said. So we started with modifications. We placed a firm cushion on his seat to raise his hips and put a rolled-up towel behind his lower back to support a forward pelvic tilt. We put a stack of books under his feet to get his knees to 90 degrees. It wasn't pretty, but it achieved the 90-90-90 position. The change was not immediate, but it was profound. About 6 weeks later, he sent me an email. "It's remarkable," he wrote. "My late-night trips to the bathroom have been cut in half. And the other day, for the first time in years, I felt a strong, spontaneous response. I haven't changed anything else in my life. It has to be the posture." He finally understood that he wasn't just riding in that chair. He was slowly crushing the very systems that regulated his pelvic health. He has since invested in a proper ergonomic chair. Now, you might be thinking, which one of these is most important? And the answer is, none of them. The true power, the magic that creates lasting change, comes from the synergy of combining them. Think of it this way. The Morning Pelvic Reset is like unlocking and opening a door that has been rusted shut for years. It gets things moving again. But if you walk away, the wind will just blow it shut. The 90-90-90 throne is like putting a doorstop in place. It props the door open and prevents it from slamming shut the moment you sit down. It maintains that open, uncompressed state throughout the day. And addressing the pelvic clamp is the act of understanding why the door was rusted shut in the first place. It's the foundational knowledge that empowers you to keep it open. When you do the morning reset, you prime your body with blood flow. When you then sit correctly, you allow that blood flow to continue unimpeded. One action enhances the other. The morning routine makes sitting correctly feel more natural, and sitting correctly makes the benefits of the morning routine last all day long. This isn't 1 + 1 = 2. This is 1 + 1 = 5. This is a synergistic effect that heals the root mechanical cause of the problem, allowing your body's natural vitality to flow freely once again. You have the knowledge now. You understand how a simple act, something as unconscious as slouching, could be the hidden enemy you've been fighting for years. You know that this is not an irreversible part of aging, but a mechanical issue that you have the power to correct. You have the tools. The Morning Pelvic Reset. The 90-90-90 rule. You don't need to buy expensive pills or sign up for a grueling new program. The power to change is right there, in your chair, in your living room, right now. I'm not going to ask you to change everything overnight. That leads to failure. I want you to make a simple commitment. For the next 14 days, just start with one thing. Commit to the 5-minute morning pelvic reset. That's it. Just do that one simple thing every single morning and just observe. Notice the small changes. The return of warmth, the reduction in numbness, the feeling of being more connected to your own body. This is how real change begins. With one small, consistent step. If this video has opened your eyes, please click the like button. It helps this message reach other men who need to hear it. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more truths about reclaiming your health. And now, I want to hear from you. Which one of these tips are you going to try first? Are you going to start the morning reset? Are you going to adjust your chair today? Let me know in the comments below. Your journey to reclaiming your vitality starts with your next action. Take control. You have more power than you think.